Hi everyone, I'm Candice Terramona, and this is for my portfolio, my capstone portfolio. This is my position proposal, so a first year residential engagement coordinator by Candice Terramona, me. So Central State University, this is a case study. It is a land-grant institution in the Midwest. Declining enrollment and decreased state support obviously leads to a reduction of resources. So the Vice President of Student Affairs has secured the funds for you, the Director of Residence Life, to create a new position to increase student belonging. So I propose a first-year residential engagement coordinator to mitigate barriers to promote student success, create events and market them to facilitate student connections, and make reports to assess program effectiveness on retention rates. So the duties of the first year residential engagement coordinator are fourfold. You're going to do community building, you're going to do student case management and resource connection, marketing and promotion, as well as assessment and reporting. Community building. You're going to plan and execute activities for residents. This can be theme nights, this can be open mic nights, this can be volunteering, internships, events, and trips. Much like we did at Harvard when I worked there as a resident dean last year, they had a whole student activities board just for the summer. And it was really conducive to building a inclusive, diverse, and accessible environment for the students to be able to connect to each other. Promote shared experiences, provide opportunities, and facilitate student connections to promote a sense of belonging. Marketing and promotion. This position would also oversee unpaid student interns for management of first-year experience social media outlets and distributing flyers for first-year activities. Unpaid student interns because the only budget we have is for this position, for now. Publish weekly newsletters about opportunities, events, and community resources. Student case management and resource connection. So you will strategically target at-risk students for individual meetings to assess what barriers to success and well-being exist. So you're going to connect them to the appropriate university and community resources. If there's something that UWF doesn't have, we have a case manager or a care manager to be able to show where they can receive these services and if there's any kind of way that we can connect them ourselves. And follow up with student care management. So this means scheduling other meetings, like not just giving them directions and then telling them what to do and leaving them to it. A lot of students need follow through, and holding them accountable for their actions or lack thereof after receiving counsel from a professional, a student affairs practitioner, is going to help foster that sense of independence that they're going to need when they're out of the college bubble and in the real world. Assessment and reporting. You're going to report student retention rates, you're going to collect that data on event attendance specifically, and assess student feedback. So this could be surveys. There's a lot of survey fatigue. So individual meeting notes, etc., or surveys that are not sent out through email but through like event promotion, to come in, give us your student email, and fill this out really quick, a pre and post assessment. So recruiting for the position, I had 4 plans for how we would do that. So first of all, internally. So an employee at the university that already exists as part of the community may be interested in pursuing new career opportunities and would already be familiar with many policies and procedures. This helps the university and this helps the employee community because it saves time with training. They're already familiar with the university environment. They're part of the community, so they understand the values and the mission and the goals of the institution. Even though they may have a very different role, they're still part of the community, contributing to what that means for UWF. And then recent grads, so students who would have graduated would likely be looking for a job, especially those in liberal arts whose skills can be applied regardless of a specific area of focus. This could also mean students that are pursuing careers that may not produce that much income compared to others. For example, education majors and social workers. So they both would be very qualified for this position. So we need to start promoting our jobs to recent grads from our school so that there's no lack of career opportunities internally from someone who already, again, is part of the community. Professional recruiting. So professional organizations such as NASPA and ACPA, as well as media for higher education such as Inside Higher Ed and the Chronicle of Higher Education, have relevant job postings for people in this position, or in professional positions. And reaching out to the community, because not only is UWF a community of its own, it exists surrounded by Pensacola. Okay, there we go. So interaction with the surrounding community could lead to higher recruitment of college students with increased visibility and awareness of the opportunities that higher education can bring. So supervision and evaluation of this position. Well, SMART goals and following through with those. Consistent feedback. This is not just going to be from the supervisor to the employee. This is going to be a two-way or multi-stakeholder street. And providing professional opportunities for employee growth and development. So for SMART goals, for each of the 4 main duties of the first-year engagement coordinator, there should be measurable outcomes that would be evaluated on a weekly and monthly basis for the first 3 months, then quarterly. The employee would be responsible for sharing their results with the supervisor, and then they could discuss about, areas of growth and areas of success, and a plan to develop and cultivate that area of growth so that they can be they can show more proficiency in that skill area as they're going along training, and you can mentor them as the supervisor. Consistent feedback. So expectations must be communicated clearly and frequently. This makes information accessible and provides clarification. With weekly meetings and quarterly assessments, the employee will have multiple opportunities to clarify what is expected of them, and providing professional opportunities. As supervisor, I would look for development to provide for my employee, whether it's for student affairs seminars, higher education conferences, or leadership classes and training at the university. I would also seek to provide a range of benefits due to the limited salary.